Rick Pitino is a well-known American basketball coach who has coached at both college and professional levels. He has been in the public eye for many years, but his personal dietary habits and preferences have not been widely discussed or documented. It's common to focus on the diets of famous athletes, but what about the coaches behind training these athletes? We're going to look at what both athletes and their coaches should be eating, whilst using Rick Pitino as our primary example. Hello, and welcome to 5 Pillars Health, the channel where we show you how to get healthy and stay healthy through the 5 pillars of sleep, hydration, nutrition, sunlight, and movement. Coaches do not only give advice on the field or court, and what happens off the field or court is just as important. Rick Pitino has been known to give his athletes an unhealthy food routine in the past. The diet of one of his players, Walter McCarty, was revealed and shows us exactly what not to do. He wanted McCarty to beef up and add weight, which seems strange as most people are focused on weight loss. Athletes are constantly active, and basketball players, because of their height, require a lot of energy in terms of food intake in order to perform at an optimal level. The diet goes as follows. Breakfast: 3 sausage biscuits, 4 ounces of syrup, and 20 ounces of fruit juice. Whilst we think breakfast to be an important part of a healthy diet, and can be made up of a decent amount of carbs, fat, and protein, we stress the importance of unrefined and whole food sources. Breakfast sausages are highly processed and will no doubt contain excessive inflammatory seed oils, artificial preservatives, and fillers. Syrup is fine if it is organic maple syrup, but we doubt that was recommended to McCarty, as it seems Pitino's focus wasn't on whole foods. Fruit juice is fine in moderation and should ideally be freshly squeezed. We would rather suggest a breakfast of organic sausages and eggs to get in good protein and fats, a slice of fermented sourdough bread with grass-fed butter, or a glass of raw milk and orange juice, or a bowl of cut-up fruit. Breakfast sets the tone for the rest of your day, so we at 5 Pillars like to emphasize the importance of striking a good balance. Both of McCarty's snacks in the morning and afternoon were 2 425-calorie diet supplement drinks. These are no doubt filled with tons of artificial colorants and sugar, and should ideally be replaced with fruit and cheese, nuts, or a glass of raw milk with honey. This would better balance blood sugar compared to the pure sugar storm that most diet supplement drinks contain. Lunch recommendations were 5 pieces of fried chicken and 32 ounces of Gatorade. It's great to make sure there is protein present at every big meal, but getting that source from a fast food chain where the protein is crumbed and deep fried is terrible for your health. Sourcing your chicken is more important than sourcing red meat, because chickens are not ruminant animals. This means that their flesh is more likely to contain high amounts of toxins like linoleic acid if they're not free-range and organic. Factory farm hens are also pumped with hormones, which can affect the delicate hormonal profile in our bodies. We recommend roasted or grilled chicken over deep fried, and staying away from inflammatory seed oils, which deep fried food usually contains. Better carb sources than soft drinks include white rice, quinoa, fruit, potatoes, and sweet potatoes, or a combination of all. Gatorade is similar to diet supplement drinks in that it contains tons of artificial sugars, sweeteners, and colorants, and we would recommend leaving it out. His dinner comprised one 12-inch and one 6-inch meatball sub along with 20 ounces of juice. Again, the focus on ultra-processed food is not healthy, and the meat in these subs likely contains carcinogenic additives like nitrates and nitrites. Dinner should rather be protein-centered instead of carb-centered, like beef, chicken, or fish that is of decent quality, served with vegetables. McCarty's diet is missing vegetables and fruit, which contain vitamins, minerals, and other compounds necessary for achieving optimal health. Although his calorie intake is high, his diet is not nutrient-dense, and nutrient density is at the core of healthy and sustainable eating. Just when you think his eating schedule for the day was over, his pre-bedtime snack was 6 slices of pizza and a 16-ounce ginger ale. All these processed and refined sugars and carbs are the worst things you can eat before going to bed. You ideally want to stop eating a meal about 3 hours before bed so your body can properly focus on rest and not stress itself into digesting your food in a sedentary state. Pre-bedtime snacks can be very useful for those who struggle with sleep or struggle to maintain and gain weight, but it should always be small and healthy. McCarty's total calorie intake for the day was 10,000, an excessive amount which would put a lot of stress on the body. If weight gain or loss is your goal, slow and sustainable is the best way. An average man should be taking in 2,500 calories a day, depending on their height and build. Athletes should be taking in more, but we think McCarty would have been better off slowly upping his calories over time and focusing on whole, unprocessed foods. This would have given him more energy for his practices and games, better mental clarity for his performances in games, and better long-term health as he ages. It is therefore no surprise that news sources reported that this exact diet negatively impacted another athlete's performance and career. Over more recent years, Pitino has thankfully changed his tune and has spoken publicly about how important eating habits and regular exercise are. He has said that coaches should set an example for their athletes to follow. When Pitino was looking to hire an assistant coach, he gave Kenny Johnson much better advice to maintain a healthy lifestyle and lead by example for the team. He even wrote a book on healthy living called The 1 Day Contract: How to Add Value to Every Minute of Your Life. In the book, he stresses the importance of taking care of oneself physically, mentally, and spiritually to live a fulfilling life. It appears that in 1995, a doctor wrote a letter to Rick Pitino recommending that he adopt a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet to improve his health. The article also includes a response from Rick Pitino in which he acknowledges the doctor's advice and says that he has been following a similar diet. A great turnaround for someone nurturing athletes and in the public eye. If you're enjoying this video, please tap the like button. It helps us out a huge amount. Rick Pitino is a great example of how not to eat, but also shows us that you can always turn your life around, and it's never too late or too early to start adopting sustainable, healthy habits. What dietary habits have you recently adopted and seen improvements with? Let us know in the comments. You might encourage another 5 Pillars member to try something new.